Hey everybody, today I'm in East Lansing at the Michigan State Trial Gardens, and a lot of the varieties I'm going to show you today I've shown you at some of the other trial gardens, but I think it's nice to see them in different settings and under different conditions. So there's some familiar faces in here, but I think you're going to enjoy looking at how they're growing in here. A lot of them are in the landscape as well, which is a little different than a lot of the container trials that I've been showing you. So here's another look at the Decomax Pink Petunia. This one is kind of giving the Supertunia Vista bubblegum a run for its money. Fortunately, they have it just down there so I can see it almost side by side. Here's the Decomax Pinwheel Purple and the Decomax Rose Vein. This Rose Vein is very similar to another one I'm going to show you up here. But before we get there, I want to look here at the Painted Love Petunia. This Durabloom Red, not sure why it's not doing well. I've seen this one in other trial gardens. It looks fantastic. And then here is the Supertunia Mini Vista Plum Vein. So very beautiful flower coverage on this and great plant on it. Kind of similar to the Deco Pink Vein, only this one definitely has more of a purple cast. And here we have the Supertunia Tiara Blue. This is the one that I had picked up and was growing. And here's the Supertunia Tiara Pink. And this pink definitely is a more vigorous variety from what I'm looking at here. I also have some other Supertunias like the Bermuda Beach and the Mini Vista Yellow. But here is the Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. A little bit more flower coverage and bigger flowers than what we see on the Decomax. But boy, those two could compete side by side as I saw at one of the other ones. Now this is something that I always think is strange. At a lot of the university trial gardens, we'll see some inconsistency in how the plants are growing. And it always seems like it's a watering or fertilizing issue. So I'm never really sure what's going on. But we do get another look at the Easy Wave Navy Velour. And then I won't even touch those over there because I think it's more of a conditional thing rather than the actual plants that are suffering. I'm very glad I get to lay eyes on this unplugged red salvia. This is the new one from Proven Winners. They did not have it at the 4-star Proven Winners garden, so I was surprised at that. Now, the way it's growing right now looks very upright. I'm wondering if it could have used another pinch so that it'd be a little fuller, because it does seem to kind of go more upright and kind of vase shaped, but I think it might be a little fuller if it got more of a pinch. That's my theory anyway. They have it next to the unplugged white and the unplugged So Blue. Also getting another look at the Stardiva Pink or Stardiva Pink. That's the new one from Proven Winners. Notice the flower shape is a star shape. This is the blue over here. So if you look at that full shape versus this Whirlwind White Scaevola, you notice the fan-shaped flower on that versus the star shape. So that's its big claim to fame. It is a more compact variety, so you can even see in this sampling how different the Whirlwind is from the Stardiva. And then we have a couple other varieties. Here's the Stardiva White, and then we have more of the Whirlwind Blue over here and the pink as well right over there. The SuperCal Petchoas are definitely well represented. This is the Premium Rose Star Elite. So you can see it does have a little bit of a star. It has that beautiful sheen to it that a lot of the SuperCals will have. And this one over here is the SuperCal Premium Pink Mist Elite. So it has a very pale kind of brushed effect on it, almost like it was spray painted with a little bit of pink on a white flower. It seems like at every university trial garden that I go to, there's this mix of beds that are very well marked and very well maintained, and then there's beds that have no markings or labels at all. So very curious about this plant here. It almost reminds me of like artichokes or thistles or something. So if you know which kind of plant this one is, let me know. We'll call it the very big spiky leafed plant. So tell me what that one is right there. I do recognize the Cleome, the Salvia, the San Vitalia. Looks like this is probably a Cosmos as well. We have some lavender tucked in here, but that's the one that is a bit of a mystery to me. Here's the SuperCal Shocking Pink, and let me tell you, the color on this one is absolutely fantastic. Has that little bit of sheen that I always love in the Petchoas. And then this one over here is the SuperCal Premium Rose Elite. Or Rose Pink Elite. So there is a slight difference in the coloring and the flower size. So the premiums are going to have a bigger flower, whereas the regular SuperCals have a little bit smaller flower, but they tend to be a little bigger or more vigorous. Here's another look at that Glory Days red-orange bicolor geranium. That flower on there is pretty incredible. And seeing this one in the landscape again, I do like the pink a little more than I liked it before. It's looking good in this kind of light. And then Not looking as good. This is the Big Easy Pink Batik. Not sure what's going on with this one. The flower is pretty incredible, but in this particular garden, not doing so well. But boy, I showed you this one before. This is the Caldera Hot Pink. The color on this is incredible. It is so intense. It's so vibrant. It's definitely a winner. Here we have a Nemesia. This one is an improved one called Bluebird from Proven Winners. A couple really nice lantana here. This is Lucky Gold. This one over here is Heartland Sunrise. Heartland really red, and this is a beautiful red color. And you notice with lantana, it does tend to start out like an orange or yellow color, and then it changes to its other color. So this is Shamrock Red. Boy, if I had my choice between the two, I think I'd be leaning towards that Heartland really red. However, this one's a really nice one too. Here's the Passion Fruit. I grew some of that this year. Beautiful color, very interesting looking. We're getting into Impatiens here. So this is the Solarscape Pink Jewel right here. The Lilac Spark. So a little bit of variation in color on that one. And then the lavender shades. There actually isn't a whole lot of lavender in there. It's a lot of lavender and white, at least in this particular grouping. And then over here, Sun Patience Vigorous Purple Elite. This one is Sun Patience Vigorous Red. Getting a little fading on that flower in particular, but Sun Patience Vigorous Orchid. Here's some heliotrope. This is the Augusta Lavender, and this one over here is the, let me take a look, the Aromagica Purple. And boy, I can smell that beautiful kind of vanilla fragrance coming off of these. We have some Helianthus here as well. This is the Suncredible Yellow from Proven Winners, right next to the Sunfidity Double Yellow. So I've seen this in a couple places, a little bit shorter here than what I saw at Raker Roberta and some of the other places, but it's definitely got the flower power. Like, it is covered in blooms. Looks like we have the whole lineup of the Grand Daisy Argeranthemum. So this is the dark pink. And one thing about Argeranthemum is that some of these darker colors do tend to open more white or light pink, and then they get their color. You're gonna see it also here in the red. And then over here is the white. Interesting eye, how dark the center of that eye gets. And then here we have the Pink Halo Improved. And then the yellow, which has that brown eye on this one. I'm noticing some unusual growth in their Coleus here. So their Color Blaze Lime Time here, everything seems to be growing up in arms, which isn't always the case. So this is the Color Blaze Mini Me Watermelon. So this is one that I've grown a couple times. Mine tends to be a little bigger and more full, not so you know, with these towers coming off of it. This is the Color Blaze Mini Me Chartreuse. That's, I think, new this year. Here is the Downtown Dallas variety. So the Downtown series is new this year, and then this is Downtown Port Fairy. So interesting how all of them are growing like this. So I'm guessing it's just a nutritional thing maybe. I don't know. Have you had your Coleus grow this way? Mine usually doesn't. It's usually fuller and kind of more robust, kind of looking a little bit more like this one versus these kind of arms sticking up that I'm seeing in some of these other ones. It's interesting to see how different plants do in different gardens. So here we have the Virtuoso series from Proven Winners, and it looks better here than it did at the Proven Winners gardens. So this is the Vibrant Violet. And then this one here is the Pinkerific. Then we have Dayglow Yellow. It really is a bright, light colored yellow. And then Classy Carmine, which is their red. So these are looking a lot better than they did over at 4-Star. This little cluster of plants in the shade is showing how in some gardens different plants do better. So we're seeing here the Birthday Bash Chocolate Cherry and the Birthday Bash Raspberry Sorbet. Wax begonias are doing much better here than what I saw in one of the other trial gardens. Now, I still notice that the spent blooms on these are a little bit of a distraction to me. So that's the case sometimes with double begonias, but hey, you know, they're looking really good in here. And then they do have these beautiful examples of the new begonias from Proven Winners. This is the Space Age series, so Space Age Triton. Look at that beautiful speckling and that nice kind of cloudy appeal. This is Space Age Europa. Really beautiful colors in there. And then Space Age Black Hole. And again, this one has more of that spiral leaf on it. I have to say, if I were to pick one, man, it's a tough call. I'm leaning towards the Black Hole, but all three of them are pretty incredible. And in these are probably, I'm guessing, what, a 17 or 19 inch pot, and they have 4 plants in here. So these are really nice sized begonias. So 4 of them filling such a big pot is nice, because sometimes with Rex begonias you don't know, if they're gonna, how big they're gonna get. These fill out really, really nice. And here again we have another little peekaboo flower in there. So it's not known for its flowers, but it does get a couple of them. Gotta say, this is a nice combination. We've got the petunia in here, and I'm guessing that is the headliner Crystal Sky or something. I can't remember the name exactly. And then we have some of the Dusty Miller in there. That's a beautiful Angelonia doing really well with the Cleome or Cleome. And then nice little spot. I'm not necessarily gonna sit here because it's really in the blazing sun, but hey, nice little setup. Apparently I didn't get the memo that all the trial gardens were going to be growing Angelonia side by side. So here we have that Guardian Angel Blue looking really fantastic. It's got nice height, beautiful flower coverage. They planted it right here next to these Angel Face Blue from Proven Winners. And so a little bit different growth habit. This one definitely is getting more stems, a little bit more upright. This one here does have a little bit more horizontal growth than what we see from the other one there. So interesting to look at. This one here is another Angel Face. This is the pink, or perfectly pink, I think they call it. And then this is the Angel Face Wedgwood Blue next to the Angel Face Wedgwood Pink. And then this is the Angel Face White Improved as well. A lot of new varieties in these containers. So we have the SolarScape Extra Large Lilac Spark. This is the SolarScape Extra Large Pink Jewel. And then we're getting into some of those SuperCals, SuperCal Premium Bordeaux Petchoas, SuperCal Premium Yellow Sun. Nice yellow color on this if you like kind of more of that earthy yellow. And then SuperCal Premium Red Maple, a little bit more of an orangey red. SuperCal Premium Purple Dawn, and then SuperCal Premium Pearl White. I'm sad to see that this one isn't as full as it normally gets, because this is one of my favorite white Petunia Petchoas out there, but it's not doing as well in this trial right now. Let's see, Hawaiian Sunset stopped blooming. We got the Lantana Shamrock Red, Lantana Passion Fruit, another Sun Patience Compact Purple Candy. So beautiful bicolor in there. Sun Patience Compact Lavender Elite. Diplandia Jade White, Jade Red, and Jade Pink. In Calibrachoa, these are the Bloomtastic Sky. Beautiful color on that one. Bloomtastic Sunshine. Nice yellow eye on that one. This one's called Rainbow Iced Blueberry. Very pale coloring on that one. TikTok Sky Blue, Cha-Cha Diva Apricot. So these containers have Easy Wave Petunia. So this is, I think, the Easy Wave Pink Morn. This is Easy Wave Rose. I'm really liking this color, very intense, bright pink. This is their peppermint mix. That's the red and the white. And this is the Navy Velour. So you can see how well that one's doing compared to what we saw back over in the other in-ground trial. And then this one, of course, is that Heatopia doing pretty well. I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you have a college or university near you that has some trial gardens or just show gardens, I do recommend stopping by. It can be a really good way to just see some different ideas, different plants, get some inspiration, and they're really usually very calm and relaxing park-like settings at most of them. So I always have a good time when I visit them. I will say that when you go, I would recommend trying to get there earlier in the season if you're trying to look specifically at annuals, because it seems like as we get later in the season, like it must be that the interns go home or the program has ended, and a lot of times they're not getting the fertilizer or the water that they would have earlier. So I've seen that at a lot of the university trial gardens that I've been to. So if you start going at the end of August or into September, you might not be able to see the plants in their prime, even though normally they would still be going. If they're not getting that extra fertilizer and water, they're going to start kind of petering out a little bit early. So get there earlier, enjoy the parkland setting though year-round, because that's what they're there for. And those universities do put those out there for the public to be able to see these plants as well as for their students. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.